Welcome back, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome back.
This is Beth.
And this is Diz.
And this is
Trigger Warning.
Okay.
Trigger Warning. Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Hey guys. What's up, guys? We're so happy to see you.
I hope you guys liked our last one with the little spooky Arkansas.
Did you guys like it? Wasn't it creepy and cool?
Did it give you the creeps when you had to drive over the Parkway Bridge, Beth? Yes, it did. Thanks for asking.
But everything was fine because she's here today.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine.
That was a really cool story, though.
Yeah,
that last one was crazy.
Yeah. If you missed it, go back. Okay. What you got, Diz?
All right, guys. So I have a survival story to tell you about today.
I just told you mine.
That's right. Bev told you guys hers. So I'm going to tell you this one.
Oh boy. Tell me about it.
A couple of trigger warnings.
Yeah, we do.
Death.
Those.
There is death involved.
Oh, even though they survived. Okay.
Some injuries that someone sustained.
Okay.
And that's about it. That's about it that I can think of right at this moment.
Okay.
And that's all I have written down on my notes.
This is the way our podcast rolls.
Yeah, guys. Sorry. We're really professional. So this is how everyone should be. Yeah, right. Okay, anyway. So I'm going to tell you guys about... Okay, I'm going to try to say her name. Her name is Vesna
Vulovic. Yeah, I guess.
Vulovic. Okay. I'm going to call her Vesna.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say the last name completely wrong.
It's not hard to say. It's just harder when you're saying it with the first name.
Yeah, if it was like Anna
Vulovic. But Vesna Vulovic is like, because you're putting those syllables.
American, and I don't know how to speak.
America. Yes.
America. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get this story going.
Do it.
Commercial airplanes usually cruise at around 30,000 to 42,000 feet.
They do.
Which is 9,000 to 13,000 meters. That is way high up.
That's as high as Superman flies.
At least.
Because he's a real person.
And on January 25th, 1972, that was no different.
Mm-hmm.
JAT Flight 367 was a Yugoslav Airlines DC-932 plane. It was flying from Stockholm, Sweden. It had a stopover scheduled for Copenhagen, Denmark. A second stopover at Zagreb, Yugoslavia, which is now in Croatia.
Okay.
And then its final destination, dun dun dun, was
that's a movie.
Belgrade, Yugoslavia.
Okay.
Which that is now part of Serbia.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because this would have been Soviet Union era.
72, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's 28 people on board, so it's a relatively small plane.
Right. 23
passengers and 5 crew members. So Flight 367 leaves Stockholm at 1:30 p.m. on January 26, 1972. It lands safely at its first stopover in Copenhagen at 2:30, so that's an hour that it's been up in the air. 22-year-old Vesna and her colleagues board at this stopover.
Okay.
And they are going to be the flight crew for the remainder of this flight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They depart Copenhagen at 3:15, and they're heading for their second stop, which is Zagreb in Serbia.
Okay.
46 minutes later, at 4:01, an explosion blasts through the baggage compartment.
Oh, shit.
The cabin begins to immediately depressurize. Passengers and crew are sucked out of the plane into freezing cold temperatures.
Oh, my God, that's terrifying.
And begin falling to their deaths.
Oh, my God. Even if it wasn't January, it'd be freezing cold temperatures because you're like 30-some thousand
yes.
feet in the sky.
The plane breaks into 3 different sections. This ends up damaging like part of the flight recorder, and then it makes communications impossible with the plane afterwards because
of
of
it
how
cut
it's
apart
broken.
wiring and
Yes.
stuff, I bet. Okay.
So the pieces of the plane are spinning and plummeting towards the earth.
Oh my God.
The nose of the plane falls on a flat area near a Czechoslovakian village. And they said the name, but I have no idea how to say it, so I'm not going to worry about it. But it's a little village.
Uh-huh.
And it's a flat area, so you know what happens when something falls where it's flat. Okay. The fuselage, which is like the main part of the
where
plane,
most of the passengers sit.
it falls and crashes into a mountain where there's woods and quite a bit of snow.
Okay.
And this is where Vesna ends up being. She was found in the wreckage of the fuselage and was screaming when, like, a woodsman found her. Like, a guy who was out in the woods, but he's from that little town.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
His name was Bruno Hoke, and he was a former World War II medic.
Oh,
he heard the impact of the plane's body and then heard her screaming and found her.
Holy crap.
And because of his medic training, he was able to keep her alive.
Oh my God. What are the odds?
I don't even know. It's
the odds of her living through the fall and the impact, and then having the one person on the mountain near enough for her to be, like, found.
Right.
Also has medical training.
Yes.
Holy crap.
So we're going to talk about her injuries, too, right now.
Okay.
All right. So when he finds her stewardess uniform, completely covered in blood. She had, they wore 3-inch stilettos.
Oh, my God.
That's what it said. But they were actually torn off her feet by the force of the impact. She had a fractured skull, cerebral hemorrhage, 2 broken legs, a fractured pelvis, multiple broken ribs, and 3 broken vertebrae, one of which had been completely crushed. This caused temporary paralysis from her waist down for about 10 months.
Oh my God.
And then she ends up having like a lifelong limp afterwards because her spine was twisted after this.
Did you say how old she was?
22.
Oh my God. Yeah.
She was
I was going to say that's life-changing injuries.
Yes, and it was. She was also in a coma for 27 days afterwards. Most sources said 27 days. Some just said several days. I'm going to go with 27 because I think it's probably more likely with a fractured skull and hemorrhage and everything.
Hemorrhage. They would have probably, even if she wasn't naturally in a coma, they probably would have induced a coma.
Think of all the, her body
her
was
swelling and stuff in her brain, and they would have...
Unreal.
Yeah. If she wasn't already in a coma, they would have been like, put that girl in a coma.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, keep me in a coma.
And I guess they would have done
that
in 1972. I forget it's not like 2012 or something.
Yeah, I think they would have at that point.
One other thing that she had to deal with was she ended up, when she did wake up, she had amnesia from an hour prior to the explosion until 1 month afterwards. She couldn't remember anything.
Wow.
She had no memory of the crash.
I don't think I'd want to.
And it was funny because they needed to fly her to Prague after she had recovered slightly so she could get like more treatment and stuff after she had woken up. And they were like, we can give you medicine to like, because they were like, you're going to be scared to fly. She's like, I don't even remember it. I don't mind at all. So she never had a problem flying.
Because she had no memory of it. Every flight she'd ever taken was perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. It was always safe.
Wow.
Which is great, I guess, but okay.
And so, unless like nightmares and flashbacks started later.
No, I mean, she never mentions that, so I don't think that. I think she was lucky in that never happened.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the fractured skull and the cerebral hemorrhage and a coma for a month.
Yeah,
maybe she was just lucky and it was permanent amnesia for that period of time.
I would pray for that. At least.
I would too.
Because can you imagine just what you hear? What you smell
anytime
at that
you hear a plane or hear a sound, like we just heard a truck go by a little while ago, just hearing that kind of mechanical sound after a plane crash, I think I would freak out.
I would freak out. Seeing a plane, I'd probably freak out.
I was in a crash, like in a car crash when I was 14, and it took me a long time just approaching when somebody was approaching a stop sign from the side for me not to like tense up in the passenger seat because that's how the accident happened. I can't imagine
scary. Especially when you're not the one in control.
Yeah, and she had been a flight attendant. She, like, if she could go back to work with all those injuries, would she have wanted to go back?
If she had had the memories, I doubt she would have wanted to go back. I can't imagine.
If
especially
she could
at 22.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I would have been so glad to have the amnesia from that.
I would pray for the amnesia.
Yeah.
Once she's awake and everything, of course, people are going to talk to her and they want to know the story. So she tells them she wasn't even supposed to be working that day.
Mm-hmm.
The airline had confused her with another flight attendant whose first name was also Vesna.
I wonder if it's a common name in
I guess so, like
Denmark
Jessica or whatever, Jennifer or whatever. So that's why she was even on the plane, because they had called her instead of this other person.
Oh, wow.
At the time of the explosion, they think that she was at the back of the fuselage of the main part of the plane with a food cart.
Uh-huh.
And once everything happens, she gets pinned down by that cart.
Wow.
And they think that may have been one reason why she survived.
It all depends on where you just happen to be.
She was saying that Bruno said he found her and she was right in the middle of the middle part of the plane.
Well, who knows how much she bounced around after she landed.
And it's spinning.
If the thing tumbled through the sky, but then also hit the ground and rolled, or hit trees and tumbled through the trees.
Well, and they talk about it, the angle at which it hit, they said they also think helped her to survive.
Yeah, because it
didn't want like a splat.
It wasn't just a sudden stop.
Right.
She had
and then she had
a crumple zone.
Yes.
Like a car has.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So everyone's like, well, how in the world did she survive? Because that's crazy. Just the fact that she survived the explosion and everything. So she had low blood pressure and she knew she had this.
Mm-hmm.
And when she applied to be a flight attendant, she knew that would keep her from getting the job because you're going to be in an airplane.
Right.
You don't need your blood pressure be low when the pressure's good. And she said that she actually drank a lot of coffee the day of her physical so that her blood pressure would be up.
Wow.
Which is terrifying because it's like you could have just died anyway.
She cheated on her physical to get her job.
And
I guess she really wanted to be a flight attendant.
The low blood pressure is what
actually
helped her because it caused her to pass out as soon as the cabin started to depressurize. And it said that would have kept her heart from bursting during impact.
Holy crap.
Can you even? When I read that, I could not believe it.
You don't think about, you think about bones and stuff inside of you breaking and, internal bleeding, but you don't think about the heart, just rupturing from impact.
Yeah.
But that makes sense that it would.
Right?
From 35,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Of course it would.
It's crazy. I was just like, what?
Holy crap.
So if it was anyone else and they had happened to survive the explosion, they probably would have died when that part
impacted.
Actually hit the mountain.
I mean, it was just like all these little things came together, and if one of them had been off.
Yes. Well, and a minute ago when we were talking about the angle of the plane, that's one thing they said. They were like the location, that it was a mountain with a lot of trees and a lot of snow. So there was extra cushioning.
Yeah.
And the angle at which it hit was helpful.
Yeah.
It didn't say exactly how it was, but because of all that cushioning, it helped absorb some of that energy of the fall
the impact,
and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of those things is what they think most likely helped her to survive. And she still was critical condition,
you know. Yeah, she was.
It's not like she was like, oh my gosh, I feel so great. Yeah. And she's in a coma. She's got a fractured skull and all that.
She was, she very easily could have died, but
and if he hadn't been, even if she had gone through all that, if Bruno had not been the one to find her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's all these little things.
War type medic.
Yeah.
To where he knows what it's like to be in a scary situation. Because he's got wreckage all around him as well.
It's wreckage, yeah, and she has blood covering her.
And she's screaming.
And she's freaked out and screaming, and he, was able to go and assess her and determine what, triage and...
Yeah, and she has, broken legs, so you don't even know what that looked like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. And he was able to look at the blood and the gore and everything around him, possibly other bodies around him.
I don't think there were any bodies around.
Really?
Yeah. They never mentioned any, and I don't think there were.
Ugh.
Because I think literally everyone else got sucked out of the plane, except for the captain and the whatever in the front
co-pilot.
Yeah, they're pretty sure everyone else was just sucked out and froze and fell and died wherever it was.
So she was the only one in that portion then that landed there.
Yes. That is how I read it, because they never mentioned any other bodies or anything.
And and you said the food cart probably held her in place.
Yeah, because everyone else is flying through the air.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, so then the next question is always, how did this happen?
Right. Yeah, where did the explosion come from?
Right? Because that's what caused this whole thing.
Yeah.
So there was conspiracy theory
and
that was going on.
And you said luggage compartment, not an engine.
Correct. So, a conspiracy theory that went around was said that it was the plane had been shot down by a Czechoslovakian anti-air missile, and that it had been at a lower altitude at like 2,600 feet instead of 33,000.
26,000 feet?
No, 2,600 feet.
Oh.
Instead of 33,000, this would have been 800 meters instead of the 9,000 and whatever.
But, yeah.
They ended up debunking that fairly quickly because they did have the black box and it did have recordings on it. And it confirms like their speed and their altitude and all that. And it was confirmed to have fallen from 33,333 feet in the air.
33,333.
Yes. And it was reviewed by specialists from Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, and the Netherlands. All got this information and reviewed it. Because that's a serious anti-air missiles. Like, that's a serious conspiracy theory. So they wanted extra people to review it.
Yeah. And not just, like, one country that could then say, oh, well, they were lying. Or
right.
Were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what they think happened was a briefcase bomb that had been placed in the baggage compartment. Now, this is 1972.
Right.
So that would have been
that is spy times.
Right? Cold War.
That's James Bond. Yeah, Cold War, James Bond type shit.
Yep. So, and Vesna, along with some other crew members and the station manager at Copenhagen, noticed a man that had deplaned that had seemed really annoyed and, like, angry. And they said that when he boarded, he had a bag or something with him, but when he deplaned, he did not have it. We don't know who the guy is. They have no idea. That's what I'm thinking. When was that?
I don't know. That was in the 50s or something.
Another thing, though, this was 60s. I thought was very, another bomb was set off on a train the same day between Vienna and Zagreb.
Oh,
and that was the second stop over, which they didn't make it to.
My eyes just got real wide.
Yeah,
I'm like, I know that second place you just
and they didn't make it to that stop.
Holy crap.
And luckily, I'll say that the bomb on the train, it didn't kill anyone. It did injure 6 people, but nobody was killed in that. So that's great that there were no fatalities from that. But I'm like, that was a planned thing right there. Because that's where that plane was going to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, it exploded here.
It makes you wonder if they thought, okay, there are important people traveling to Zagreb, and some are taking the train and some are taking this plane, and so
let's
we're
take care of both. Yes. Right? Crazy stuff.
It's like, was there government people for Zagreb or something on both of those? Or?
I don't know. I have no idea. And they never told anything about who was on board or anything like that.
No wonder there were conspiracy theories, though. That's crazy.
So, of the 28 people on board, 27 died.
Oh, man.
She was the only survivor. She became a national hero.
Yeah.
She did give interviews, but soon she said she was just tired of talking about it over and over.
She's like, I don't remember it.
She started refusing interviews. She refused an interview with Oprah Winfrey and with the BBC, which I thought was kind of crazy, but she was just like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And she had survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
She said that she didn't think about the disaster every day of her life, but she always felt guilty. because she was the only survivor.
Yeah, I would feel that way too. Poor thing.
So she did continue to work for the airline. They thought that having her on the plane as a flight attendant would be too much publicity for the airline.
Yeah.
So they gave her like a desk job. She worked in an office.
Physically, after all that damage to her body, she probably had...
Well, they're probably like, you have low blood pressure. We don't want you up. Blood pressure. We don't want you up there.
Yeah, they probably like, were you lied. They probably could have fired her.
Right.
By then, she probably had too much public attention that they couldn't fire her. But
so she had a desk job. She did like contracts for freight and stuff like that, boring stuff. But they did end up firing her in 1990 because she was a political activist, and so it had to do with the political situation in the countries right then. And she was more of a rebel. Yeah. So the airline didn't want her
to give them a bad name or tie them in with the rebels.
So anywho,
like, she is definitely a rebel. She survived the bombing of a plane.
Right?
Wow.
It's crazy. And actually, she had been involved in some other like political things, but they didn't fire her then because it was too soon after that, and they knew that people would be so mad. Yeah. So it wasn't until 1990.
Well, like you said, she was a national hero for a while there.
Like, we can't do that. Anyway, so they had to wait. Anyway, okay, so Vesna ended up passing away. Her date of death is shown as December 23rd, 2016.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if that's the actual date of death because her friends had said that she had stopped answering their phone calls. So entry was made into her apartment and she was found dead. Okay. So that's just what they put. So that's what we'll go with.
I mean, sometimes they have to do just the date of the body because they don't literally know the date the body was
and they said that for the last few years of her life, she had been having some like heart problems and stuff. So
maybe that
it wasn't
like did do some damage.
Can you imagine what her body
went through? I wonder if she had chronic pain and arthritis and stuff from all the broken
twisted.
Bones. Yeah.
So she had to have had...
She had to have been in pain most of her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God.
Well, and that's the story of Vesna.
Vesna Vulovic.
Vulovic.
What a great name, too.
I know. She was lovely looking, too. Of course, at 22, she was so beautiful and like a little doll. But even in some of her older pictures, she looked really pretty. And not that that makes you better or worse or anything.
Right, but wow.
But I just couldn't believe that, like you said, all those things lined up that most likely kept her alive.
Yeah. Her low blood pressure, where she was in the plane, the food cart. Yeah. The mountain, the snow, the trees, the angle. Bruno's medic background.
And her age probably helped her a bunch because she was able to recover.
Yeah. That's an amazing story.
But she was paralyzed for like 10 months.
Yeah. Probably waiting for the inflammation to reduce. Yeah.
And that one crushed vertebrae that was just like. Yeah. In 1972, that medicine then, that.
Wow.
Right?
I don't know, like. I'd be like, my vertebrae is the least crushed thing about me. Right. I don't know that my spirit could come back from feeling like all that.
I don't know.
I'd be like, could you just put me in the coma again until I don't hurt anymore?
Yeah.
That had to be the most painful, all those broken bones and...
Well, and just think, like, arthritis. Yeah. And, like, aching when it's cold. Like, just that alone.
Yeah,
we know
and
what
if she twisted her spine, like... That, oh my God.
Broken legs and broken ribs and her head.
Ugh.
Like, could she have had, like, chronic migraines or just headaches all the time? Yeah. So it's like, you survived, but then it's like...
Yeah, it's... How much pain but it sounds like she was... besides, like, towards the end of her life and stuff, I guess she did okay because she still had friends and was still obviously missed enough that people were like, she's not answering calls and stuff, so she still was social and stuff that people didn't, like, she wasn't in her house for 6 months before somebody found her,
Right, yeah.
So I guess she
wasn't
had a good
rich
life.
Or anything. She said life was hard. But I think that had a lot to do with just survivor skill and probably just how, like we were saying, how her body felt every day.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be the same.
Right. And that happened when she was so young.
Because I think she was like 60-something when she passed. I don't know. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what her age was. So almost her entire life, let's just say.
Yeah, if she was 22 in 1972, then she was born in 1950.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was...
So basically her adult life was spent
in
after
pain.
that.
Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy. Anyway,
Vulovic.
What do you guys think?
That was a really cool story,
Wasn't it cool? I thought it was just amazing.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So does she hold the record for the,
Yes! She's in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. For the highest fall...
Surviving the highest free
fall. Without a parachute.
Wow. 33,333 feet.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds, too, that they were flying at 33,333 feet? Yeah. And they knew that because of the black box. It wasn't even just an estimate or something like that. That's crazy, man.
They knew how fast they were flying, what direction they were flying.
I love the black boxes.
I know.
I love that.
It's crazy to think that they didn't have that
before.
But I get it.
Before a certain point, they didn't have that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys think? Let us know what you think.
Yeah, y'all should email us at triggerwarning411@gmail.com.
And also, if you know of any other good stories that are
shoot us stories that y'all
any kind of story, you guys.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah. But hey, thanks for coming back and listening to us.
Yeah, thanks. And we'll catch you on the flip side, I guess.
And don't forget, watch for deer.